I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect to Canelo, but I'm
the only thing I see that favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And then he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that. I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes.
Many boxing pros are convinced that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez, and they haven't held back in expressing their views from his speed to his adaptability to his mental toughness. Crawford is being hailed as the man with all the tools to dethrone the Mexican superstar, whether it's breaking down Canelo's rhythm or capitalizing on late-round fatigue. The consensus among these boxing experts is clear. They believe Crawford wins.
2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down.
John Porter, former welterweight champion and one of the most respected voices in the boxing world, was especially vocal in backing Crawford. Porter didn't just throw out praise, he dissected exactly how the fight would unfold. He called Crawford a master strategist, someone who doesn't just fight, but systematically tears down his opponents round by round. Crawford doesn't just win, Porter said confidently. He dissects you. Porter was quick to point out that Canelo's signature style, pushing forward and trying to control the pace, would play directly into Crawford's hands. Crawford thrives when someone comes at him. He's a counterpunching genius, Porter explained. He highlighted Crawford's ability to switch to southpaw, a move that could completely throw off Canelo's rhythm. Canelo lives on rhythm, Porter said. If you break that rhythm, Canelo's in deep trouble.
It would be embarrassing for me to even ask for a fight with Terence Crawford. You know, what they were gonna do. Come on, you know, it's embarrassing. You know, it's like me trying to go to a fight. Come on, bro. You know.
Another thing Porter emphasized was Canelo's tendency to slow down in the later rounds. If Crawford survives the early storm, he'll come alive in the championship rounds, Porter predicted. He painted a scenario where Crawford's patience and precision would force Canelo into making mistakes, and once that happens, Porter believes Crawford will go in for the kill. Crawford knows exactly when to turn it up. If Canelo shows any sign of slowing down, Crawford will smell blood. Porter added, his tone unwavering.
Real quick. Just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo. Study Crawford. Crawford about to beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes.
Addressed Crawford's power, a topic of much debate. Although Crawford is a welterweight, Porter said his power will translate to a higher weight class. Crawford's not just a small welterweight, Porter insisted. His punches are sharp, precise, and they hurt. Canelo won't be able to walk through them. He praised Crawford's pinpoint accuracy, something that has left many of Crawford's past opponents stunned and beaten. Porter capped it all off by praising Crawford's mental toughness. Canelo's been through wars, but Crawford's a different breed mentally. He's got the sharpest mind in the game, Porter concluded.
The attorney's been making a lot of great fights. You can't really hate on this. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll still be too big. Weight class doesn't matter for him. Last question, Alex.
Tucker Stevenson, one of the brightest young stars in boxing, didn't hold back either. In fact, Stevenson's endorsement of Crawford was downright bold. He claimed that not only would Crawford beat Canelo, but he'd do it with ease. Crawford makes Canelo look ordinary. Stevenson declared he based his argument on Canelo's past struggles against fighters with speed and movement, 2 areas where Crawford excels. Stevenson pointed to Canelo's fights with Aris Landara and Dimitri Bivol as prime examples. Canelo doesn't like guys who move. He wants you to stand in front of him so he can load up his shots, Stevenson explained. He said Crawford's footwork would make it impossible for Canelo to get into his usual rhythm. Crawford's movement will frustrate Canelo from the very first round.
Yeah, the size is in it. Canelo is way bigger. This fight's at 54. He's got 2 weight classes to approach in order to get to 168 to fight Canelo. But as you said,
up there, he praised Crawford's ability to use feints, small subtle movements that force opponents to make mistakes. Crawford will make Canelo lunge at air, Stevenson said with a grin, and when Canelo misses, Crawford will punish him every time. Another key point Stevenson made was about control. Canelo loves to dictate the fight. He's used to being in control, but Crawford's not going to let that happen. Stevenson predicted he believed that Crawford's ability to take control early would completely throw off Canelo's game plan. Crawford's the master of controlling the tempo. Canelo won't have any say in how the fight goes, Stevenson added. Finally, Stevenson praised Crawford's ability to close the distance. Crawford knows how to apply pressure at just the right moments. If Canelo gets too comfortable, Crawford will be right there. Stevenson said his confidence in Crawford was unshakable. Timothy Bradley, another former champion and now one of the most outspoken boxing analysts, took things a step further. Bradley didn't just compare Crawford to Floyd Mayweather. He said Crawford could take the same game plan Mayweather used to beat Canelo in 2013 and make it even better. What do you think about Crawford calling out Canelo? You know I don't like that fight. Why not? Mayweather beat Canelo with accuracy and defense, Bradley began. But Mayweather didn't take risks. He was happy to just outpoint Canelo. Crawford, on the other hand, is known for being aggressive when he sees an opening. Crawford's not looking to just win rounds. He's looking to hurt you, Bradley said. Bradley highlighted Crawford's killer instinct as the defining difference. If Crawford senses weakness, it's over. He's got that dog in him. Bradley added he also praised Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, calling it a nightmare for Canelo. Canelo is used to fighting one style. Crawford will keep changing it up every round, and Canelo won't be able to keep up. Bradley explained they talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost, so let's not do that. Canelo. Bradley then turned to Canelo's gas tank, something that has come under scrutiny in recent years. Canelo's stamina has been questionable in his last few fights. He fades late, and Crawford knows it. Bradley warned he predicted that Crawford would ramp up his output in the later rounds, leaving Canelo struggling to match the pace. If it goes to the 12th round, Crawford will still be fresh. Canelo won't, Bradley stated bluntly. Bradley didn't hold back on his criticism of Canelo's recent performances. Either Canelo's been coasting, he's not the same hungry fighter he used to be. Crawford's still fighting like he's got something to prove. Bradley said he made it clear that hunger and motivation would play a big role in the outcome. Bud vs. Canelo, based on last fight, is a 50-50. Though Canelo fights an undisputed champ up and coming former champion and an up and coming undefeated contender, and somehow those three last opponents are somehow compared to Bud Madrio fight, making it a 50. To top it all off, Bradley emphasized Crawford's mental strength. Crawford, the fight even starts, he's got the sharpest mind in boxing. Canelo won't be able to handle that pressure. Bradley said his words left little room for doubt. Bradley sees Crawford as the superior fighter. These pros are all in on Terence Crawford. They see his speed, adaptability, power, and mental toughness as the perfect weapons to dethrone Canelo Alvarez. Whether it's disrupting Canelo rhythm, exploiting his late-round fatigue, or controlling the pace from the start, they believe Crawford has every advantage. And with so much confidence from boxing insiders, the buzz surrounding this potential fight only continues to grow. And I can't go down anymore. But like he say, when they ask him for the Durant fight, they don't want to get credit for that fight. He the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's going to say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small. And then, Teddy Atlas, known for his passionate and sharp boxing commentary, made it clear he's siding with Terence Crawford. For Atlas, the key factor isn't just skill, but how Crawford thinks in the ring. Crawford doesn't just fight, he dissects. Atlas declared he described Crawford as a boxing genius with the ability to neutralize Canelo Alvarez's strengths. Atlas pointed out Crawford's remarkable ring IQ, but Crawford doesn't just react to what you do, he predicts it. Atlas said he believes Crawford's knack for making mid-fight adjustments could neutralize Canelo's deadly counter-punching ability. Canelo, a master at punishing mistakes, thrives when opponents fall into his rhythm. But Atlas emphasized that Crawford rarely makes mistakes. If Bud sees something isn't working, he switches it up. You can't pin him down. Atlas added the likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest in boxing. We don't talking about yet about the fight we me and I know it. And then we went to Atlas, also focused on body shots, an area often considered Canelo's domain. Canelo breaks guys down with brutal bodywork, but Crawford will flip that script. Atlas said he suggested Crawford would attack Canelo's body early, a strategy that could slow down Canelo's powerful advances in the later rounds. If Crawford starts ripping those body shots early, Canelo is going to have a problem in the championship rounds. Atlas wore or and perhaps most importantly Atlas highlighted Crawford's footwork as the potential game-changer. Crawford knows how to stay just outside of danger. He'll make Canelo lunge, and Misty said Atlas believes this will frustrate Canelo and take him out of his comfort zone. Canelo's dangerous. When he's in control, take that control away, and you beat him. Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite -13 Craw for this +100. That's down near 50-50. Atlas concluded with a bold prediction. If Bud frustrates Canelo early, he'll win decisively. Canelo's not used to chasing ghosts, and Crawford will be the ghost he can't catch, he said confidently. Jaron Boots Andis, a rising star in the welterweight division, took a more measured approach. For Andis, Crawford versus Canelo is as close to a 50-50 fight as it gets. Both of these guys are at the top of their game. It's about who can impose their will, Andis said. Andis acknowledged Canelo's power and experience at higher weight classes. Canelo's been in there with bigger, stronger guys, and he's knocked most of them out. And as said, he pointed to Canelo's devastating body shots and ability to finish fights is a huge threat. However, Andis also recognized Crawford's explosiveness. As an equalizer, Bud doesn't need many shots to turn a fight around. He said a lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything. One of the key factors Andis highlighted was Crawford's ability to control distance. Crawford's one of the best at creating space and landing clean shots, and those shots add up over time. Andis explained he suggested that if Crawford can keep the fight at his preferred range, he could frustrate Canelo and force mistakes. Canelo's not used to being the one chasing. Bud will make him chase all night, and as predicted, Andis also praised Crawford's composure under pressure. Even if Canelo lands a big shot, Bud won't panic. He'll stay composed and stick to his game plan, and has said this mental toughness could be crucial in a high-stakes fight like this. People say, oh, you're a butt hater, bro. I just remember Gambo punching you in the face. I remember Cavalas dropping you. I remember Dreamoff hitting you with overhand rice. Like what one of the biggest surprises in the build-up to this potential fight was Crawford's revelation that he currently wants to jump to 186 pounds for a fighter who spent most of his career at welterweight, 147 obs. This news shocked many in the boxing world, but Crawford was quick to put any doubts to rest. I'm comfortable at this weight, he said confidently in a recent interview. This admission completely changes the narrative that Crawford might be too small for Canelo. Many assumed that moving up to super middleweight at 168 obs would leave Crawford at a size disadvantage. See, you stick your hand. Some you might not want to stick your hand. Who knows, it could be true, could not, but we seen the rumors. You know what I'm saying. If we the fight, you know I'm just going to give a straight. I don't think Crawford's ready for this level of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Canelo's a different man. He's a different. However, at 186 obs, Crawford is already walking around heavier than the super middleweight limit. This suggests that Crawford has been training with bigger fighters, preparing his body for the physical demands.